What's up everyone, it's Grant, bringing you guys a new video, and today's video is the first episode of a new series that I've been talking about starting up called Outside the Ring. This series is basically going to be different stories from competitions and training throughout the 15 years I've been in martial arts. For the first episode of this series, I'm going to be talking about when I won my first world title in Dublin, Ireland in 2016, and why it wasn't as good as I expected. To start, I know that the title says why winning a world title wasn't that great. Don't get me wrong, it definitely was great, but it just wasn't what I was expecting. Let me explain. I started going to competitions only about a year after I started taking karate. Ever since then, I got hooked on competing and it became the main motivation for my training. At least 6 days a week, I'd come into the dojo thinking about getting ready for the next tournament that I had coming up, whether it be somewhere in Ontario, Michigan, or overseas. Of course, through this training, I was fortunate enough to meet a lot of teammates who became great friends along the way. Despite the fact that karate isn't a team sport, it still had that team atmosphere when training, because we would all push each other to do the best that we can, and at tournaments we would cheer each other on as if it were us in the ring at that very moment. There were so many memories made on and off the mats that really helped shape me into the competitor and, at least partially, the person I am today. From losing a tooth while eating mac and cheese with my team in a Logan's Roadhouse restaurant after a tournament in Michigan, to having an impromptu late-night photo shoot with the team on a golf course in Ireland, I've made memories that I'll truly cherish for the rest of my life. Since I started training, I was always told that the moment when you win a world championship is a feeling unlike anything else, and you'll remember it for the rest of your life, which I still think is very true. That was the ultimate goal for my training, whether I realized it or not. I was always trying to win the next big tournament and slowly making my way up to bigger and bigger accomplishments. I was almost addicted to continuing my growth in martial arts and being better every single time I trained. Sometimes it felt like I was on autopilot in training because I'd done it so many times it was just natural to me. And throughout all of this training, I focused on the fact that I wanted to experience that feeling of winning a world title. I wanted to step onto the highest point of the podium and experience that feeling I've heard so much about. In 2011, 2012, 2014, and 2015, I fell short at each of the World Championships, earning a bronze medal at each. This only pushed me to train harder, as I had made it to the podium, but I wasn't the person standing at the highest point of it. Don't get me wrong, winning bronze medals were great, but like I said, I was always looking at what was next and how can I improve from this. This mindset served me well in certain aspects for a very long time, but I would soon learn that constant improvement wasn't what it was all about. In 2016, I qualified for Team Canada and flew to Dublin, Ireland for the World Championships. My training for this event had been unlike any other, as it felt like I was always training. I had worked so hard for this event, and I just had a feeling that I was going to improve at least slightly from my bronze medal placing the previous year. For those of you that haven't been to these events, for forms there are 2 days of competing and your scores for both of the days are combined to find a winner. So on the first day, I came out ranked first in one division and second in 2 other divisions. This was crazy because I had never ranked that high after the first day of competing before. I was always around the 3rd or 4th place area fighting for that bronze medal. So since I was ranked in first and second, I felt that I definitely had a shot at accomplishing a goal that I've dreamed of for so long. The second day of competition rolled around, and to make a long story short, I performed well again. When the judges started calling scores and I heard my scores come out, I knew that I had won. They called everyone up in their positions and my name was called for first place. Stepping up in line as the first place winner was amazing. I remember the wow, I actually did it feeling when I stepped forward and heard my name. But this wasn't where you go on the podium and receive your medal yet, so it still wasn't official in my eyes. A couple hours later, I was at the front of the room waiting to go up on stage and step up on the podium. I had the Canadian flag wrapped around me like a cape and I heard my division get called. The bronze medal winner went up on the podium, then the silver medal winner went up on the podium, and then my name was called. I remember hearing the cheering and taking those steps up to the top of the podium. I was obviously super happy to be standing up there, especially as I saw the medals come up. After the 3rd and 2nd place winners got their medals, I leaned over and the gold medal was placed around my neck. Looking down at the gold medal and hearing the Canadian national anthem play really was an amazing thing, but I quickly realized that it wasn't exactly what I had expected throughout my entire career. My mind immediately went to another place, which I thought was really interesting. I started reflecting on all the little moments in my career. The summer camps at the dojo doing katas outside in the grass in front of the school, the car rides from the airport to the competition hotel, the belt gradings at the dojo with my family watching me get a new belt wrapped around my waist, the holiday parties with everyone from the dojo, and all sorts of things like that. I thought about all the people who helped me along the way, whether they were still training with me or not, and I thought about the support of my family and friends through every step of the way. After thinking about all of this, I came to a realization. Sure, winning the gold medal was amazing, and it really is something that I'm never going to forget. But it wasn't about that medal or being up on the podium. It's about the memories made throughout your career. The good times and the bad. The friends and the rivals. The wins and the losses. It's about the journey, not the destination. The doing is often more important than the outcome, so make sure your journey is one worth taking.